It's Clutch here, Sodak Motorcycle Blog. It is April 11th. It's 80 degrees outside. Beautiful day. Just getting ready to leave work for the weekend. And I'm thinking, you know what? Of course, wife's out of town. It's me and the cats home alone tonight. I'm thinking, yeah, let's run up Skyline Drive and then head to supper. We'll talk to you when we get there.
Right, so here we are, going up the rough little stretch to Skyline Drive. Oh, yep. This is still a rough street, but it's okay. It's a good little, like, you know, day jaunt. And one of these years when I finally decide to start doing some My Favorite Ride stuff again, which I kind of skipped out on last year. Actually, there's no kind of about it. I did. I gave you kind of a half-assed top 5 here right before this season started. But someday I will. But not today. Oh, it feels good to get off that where I work. Because you don't know, I work for the federal government, so as you can imagine, the last, 80 days or so what's been going on, it's been interesting. Kind of a sad place to work right now. And that guy that's out there going, well, F them, they're lazy federal employees anyway. Okay, I see you out there. I know you're there. First of all, my first thing I'd like to say to you is respectively, go f*** yourself. Also, I guess in one respect, I kind of hope you don't have to deal with crap like this ever in your life. Because I've had to deal with the aura of losing my job. Well, now this is the second time in my career, and it kind of sucks. So yeah, I kind of hope you don't have to deal with that. Actually, no, wait a second. I take that back. No, I hope to God that you do have to deal with something like this someday. And I hope it's very stressful for you. And should I be empathetic? You could say that, but in the end, no. That, like I said, go yourself, and I'll be honest with you, I wish that you have to deal with something like this. That's what I will say to the haters out there. So now that I've lost probably 3/4 of my subscribers, those of you still here, once again, thank you for hanging out here. I mean, granted, you probably just say I bots anyway, but hey, you know what, we'll take them when we can get them. But this is why it's such a big deal, because finally, well, yesterday I did my first ride to work of the year. Today was my second ride to work for the year, and I figure if your first ride to the work happens anytime before May around here, I figure you're doing really good. So that is very good. So, and nice thing about it too is we're going to get you some riding content here. Obviously, we're also dealing with, we're building a carport right now. You saw part 1 last week, and that's going to kind of be coming. And like I said, this is going to be very much a hodgepodge kind of a year so far, because there's, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on with work. Also be retired from the Guard here coming up this year as well, so there's a lot of change probably going to happen. Maybe some more than I'd hoped for. But until all that change happens, I'm going to do my darndest to still keep giving you at least a video every single week. That's my plan anyway. Obviously plans change, but we're going to keep trying anyway. The one thing, regardless of what happens, we're going to keep trying to at least stay on the motorcycle. And hopefully we don't even have to deal with any of that crap. Hopefully it's just another one of those like, yep, and this too shall pass. And, but once again, we'll see what happens. But yeah, it just feels good to be back on the bike for sure. I've kind of needed this. Even before all the fun with the federal government started, it's been kind of just a, I don't know, kind of a crappy 4 months for me, to be honest with you. So I think it's a combination of factors all hitting at once. But one of the ways I can mitigate that is getting on this thing. So that's a good thing. Hopefully it brings some joy back to some things, because I've been honestly struggling to find some joy in some things. It generally hasn't been. Once I start doing them, I'm generally okay, but it's almost the getting to that, okay, I gotta go do this, has been kind of days where you're just dragging yourself to it and making yourself do it, and then once you do it, you're fine. So, but today was a better day, so hopefully we'll keep that up. It is such a nice and beautiful day today. 77 degrees, absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, this is probably one of the better rides here when you're inside Rapid city limits, because yeah, we're in the middle of town right here still on Skyline Drive. We got Black Elk Peak there in the distance. Got east side of Rapid City there. Got West Rapid City right down below me. A bunch of people with a lot more expensive houses than I'll ever have. I'm sure most of these people pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and they're self-made, so I'm sure there was no generational wealth or anything that helped them get started at all. Oh, yep, rough. That's okay, we get to come up and down the roads here. So yeah, what else we got coming up? I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, basically I just wanted to share kind of the first rides of the year with y'all. If you missed it in last week's video, we're building a carport because, well, the hailstorm last year did about 14 grand worth of damage on the F-150. Yes, it was insured, but that ain't good for insurance rates. Even though some hail damage is programmed in, I know how this works. So in order to hopefully remedy that, we are going to put a carport up. We're going to enclose all three sides. It's going to be big enough to get the motor or the pickup in there. And then it's also going to be big enough where this can eventually sit in there. I think the eventual plan is we will fully enclose it, and I'd like to make it kind of almost a poor man's shop. It'd eventually be kind of nice, or maybe I can get it built up in there so like I can actually buy a lift for this bike, like not just a belly lift, but an actual like drive-on lift, something that I can do, have a little bit easier time working on this thing on. Partly because I ain't getting any younger, and well, it's to the point now I spend a day working on my bike, and well, I feel it for about the next 3 days. But that's all more to come, more to follow, and I'll kind of document that journey with you. Yes, it doesn't really relate to a motorcycle, but here's the thing, the next month and a half, it's going to be hard for me to find motorcycle content because most of my nice days are going to be spent doing landscaping for a carport. Granted, I don't have to build the thing, the carport that is. I do have to build the base it's going to go on, so, and we're doing hand digging. We're not going to rent any equipment, mainly because I have to pay for the trucking to get the gravel there, because I don't want to spend 3 weeks shoveling a yard at a time into the backyard to build this base. So we're going to need to do that. It's just the way it is. Could be worse, but what are you going to do, right? But like I said, it's going to work out in the end. It's going to be really nice in the end, and I think it's going to be better all around. And it'll be kind of nice when it's hailing out that, if it's under there, I'll be happy. Now watch, every hailstorm I experience for the next 20 years, I'm going to be stuck in a place where I can't get it underneath something. Now, yeah, they're not a yield sign. They're not at all, buddy. It's all good. All good in the hood, they say. Yeah, let's go into town. All right. Other than that, summer vacation, don't know yet. One thing I can share with you that I do know is going to happen is is we got our Midwest meet and greet for the Green Knights coming up this June, and we are actually hosting it, so that'll be kind of fun to host that for once. Although not as much fun, because I've kind of been the dude kind of planning everything, and a good chunk of it anyway. Granted, I do have some help on it, so that's been helpful too, you know. But so we got that coming up in June. Of course, got the poker run coming up in May. Hopefully we can get out and do a video before it, kind of show you the route and all that. So yeah, we got that coming up. That's probably the big events. Obviously we'll have a little bit of a rally presence, and then like I said, it's not as far as big vacations anymore. It's, I mean, we got some days off. I'm not going to share them with you or where we're going, but like I said, there's a lot of stuff in the air right now. But we'll find out, we'll figure it out. Who knows? Maybe my vacation this year will involve, well, hey, you get to drive a semi for your job again. Yay. I would prefer not to do that, but the reality is, with what I make at my job now, about the only thing I get that that's around here, that's available, that can pay me even close to what I make in that job, is driving over the road. So, and unfortunately, I'm actually halfway decent at it, and I don't actually mind doing it. And you know, I'm kind of a loner anyway, so, which means truck driving really suits me well. And once again, like I said, it is what it is. Just make do, I guess. I will say this. I would think if I'm driving a truck again, I won't have to send in 5 bullet points every week, because, you know, it'd be pretty obvious what I accomplished when I turn in my packet that says, hey, I delivered this load to this place, and they signed for it, and here's the paperwork. But so I wouldn't miss that, I guess. Although, let's be honest, I don't think they're shoving them in the AI machine. It's just another ploy just to get people to be like, screw this, I quit. Well, I ain't gonna quit, so you're gonna have to let me go with the riff. And if I go with the riff, that means I get a severance package, which is gonna be far better, and it'll pay me far longer than the buyout. So, but don't tell them that, because maybe they might get onto the joke. But anyways, all right, that's enough about the federal government. I think that's kind of enough about everything. Yeah, this was kind of an interesting video, kind of really a video about nothing, I guess, which, yippee. Kind of good at those videos, but more or less just a little update. Yes, I'm still doing okay. Yes, I'm still alive. Yes, I'm still trying to get some riding in. All the above. And also let you know, yep, I'm planning for the worst, but hoping for the best, and I'm gonna do my best to not let it get me down. But this motorcycling definitely helps. And I will tell you this, if you're down and you ride a motorcycle, if your motorcycle is able to go, if your body is ready to go, you know what, get out on the motorcycle. Trust me, it will help you. It has helped me the last 2 days considerably. But I'd like to thank you for stopping by the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. We make weekly motorcycle videos. Hopefully most of them are not as bad as this one, but hey, sometimes you get some doozies like this one. But if you like this video, which is highly unlikely, go ahead and hit the like button. I don't know, throw me a like. Maybe it'll help my self-confidence a little bit. Since you dislike this video, go ahead and hit the dislike button. It's okay. Also, feel free to leave your terrible comments. Just be known, I will read those on the air. But hey, if you're a member of the Sodak Motorcycle Blog for $2.99 a month, I will respond to those right away. You don't have to wait for comments and beer. And that reminds me, yeah, why don't you just go ahead and buy a membership? It's cool. It's $3. You know what? Throw $3. You get a little badge. You get to see these videos early when I get them out, usually on Mondays before the video. You get them a few days early. I don't know if they're ad-free or not. I have no idea. I'm not eligible for that part of it yet. But anyways, once again, for the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, I'm Clutch. We'll see you later. And the saddle's getting cold. I'm much too young to feel this damn old. All my cards are on the table with no ace left in the hole. I'm much too young to feel this damn old.